Cathie Wood is calling for a $1.48 million Bitcoin. The Taiwanese government supposedly announcing Bitcoin as legal tender. We'll jump into this video with Bill Miller in a second here for you. We are live this morning, so much to go through. So one of the biggest bulls, Cathie Wood of ARK Invest, believes Bitcoin is heading not just to 1 million, but to 1.48 million by 2030. We are going to see more and more of these bullish Bitcoin predictions out here. But is that really what you need to be focusing on right now? We are going to get into it a little bit deeper. It's difficult to put any price target out there, as the sky could become the limit depending on the level of adoption and external factors in the market. This is just the start. Bitcoin news, we do have $11 billion of fresh capital inflows, which flood the crypto market amid expectations for the approval of a Bitcoin spot ETF. Now, it's good to see this has resurfaced again. Pretty funny, Gary. We love him. What a hypocrite. I'll play this video for you. Hopefully that sounded right. Let's go.
Bitcoin futures and I think Ethereum futures and so forth will exist, and Bitcoin ETFs have not. And that feels a little inconsistent to me. As an observer, and I'm now, in academia, but it feels a little inconsistent. Even though the laws aren't exactly the same, they're quite similar.
So that was before he was with the SEC. Obviously, we know his stance. Now, it really does feel like Gary got paid to delay. That is something we've been gone into before. Either way, it is good to see that this video has resurfaced here. Now, Bill Miller with Yahoo Finance, it's getting really frothy. We're going to dive into what's going on. We are seeing a lot of volatility back into the market. Just a couple of things first before we get started.
Well, I think it's really important that we differentiate between Bitcoin and crypto. So crypto was convicted yesterday on 7 counts of fraud.
Crypto was convicted. These are fighting words. The marketing machine is really starting to heat up for Bitcoin. It's going to be an enjoyable next 6, 12, 18 months.
People about what you're doing with their money is wrong. The beauty of Bitcoin is that's not an issue. There is a very clear...
Bitcoin is very clear. Bitcoin is not crypto. That's the biggest takeaway from his message here.
The digital ledger maintained by computers and a very clear protocol out there that's visible for everyone to see. Bitcoin is very different from crypto. So crypto was convicted yesterday. Bitcoin is still going very, very strong. The network's as strong as it's ever been. There's more users than there's ever been. So we can...
Posted the full video to this as well in a tweet. And people within crypto are so disappointed in Bill Miller as an OG calling crypto its own thing. And that's a good takeaway as we go into the halving here. Housekeeping out of the way, local time 5:56 a.m. Block height though, same place all around the world, 815,610. Bitcoin $35,108. Sats per USD has dropped and is going to continue to drop. And as Bitcoin goes up forever, 22,848. There we go. Now, a lot of red in the market. And we just read through $11 billion has come back in to the markets in the last 24 hours. We are starting to see green there. The market cap, $1.38 trillion. We do not even have the Bitcoin ETF yet. So 35,027, it changed a little bit site to site, but what I want to draw your attention to, 34,571 was the low in the last 24 hours with a high of 35,365. $800, just another day. It's going to start getting wild. We are going to have not $100 candles, but thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars worth of candles in a day, especially when it gets really frothy. So hold on tight. Don't get shaken out because it's dropped 5% in a day. That makes absolutely no sense. If you haven't seen it, Bitcoin is obviously very volatile, but not risky. You'd think if this was real news, the Taiwanese government making Bitcoin legal tender, it'd be pumping a lot more. than what it is. So this has gone around. When you do any type of search to find out anything, the only places these lead you to is into crypto or Bitcoin news publications. There's nothing from any government that I could find out there doing a quick search this morning. So take it with a grain of salt. But Taiwan to make Bitcoin legal tender with the passing the Digital Currency Legislation Regulation Act. This bill is expected to take effect on the 1st January 2024. Chen Qin-chung, member of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party. So we'll see how this unfolds, but it's not like they are approving it maybe as a currency. If they do approve it as a currency, it's probably a lot better tax-wise. But what they have to say about it, if this is in fact real news, yet again, take it with a grain of salt. I couldn't verify it. So it could just be spat out by ChatGPT, you never know. But in a historic move, Taiwan has announced that it will make Bitcoin a legal tender in the country, becoming the second nation in the world to do so after El Salvador. The bill, titled the Digital Currency Legislation Regulation Act, aims to provide a clear legal framework for the use, exchange, taxation and regulation of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in Taiwan. Take note, the bill also recognises Bitcoin as a foreign currency for the purposes of foreign exchange and trade. If this is a proper translation, this is going through, this is huge. So Taiwan is starting to play games. If this is happening, and game theory, like we're seeing this unfold right in front of us, obviously it needs to be verified. Whether this is factual or not, the bill, if it recognised Bitcoin as a foreign currency for the purposes of foreign exchange and trade, Taiwan is one of the most important economic areas in the world due to the manufacturing of all the chips that come out of there. If they allow Bitcoin as legal tender, the game theory is about to get absolutely hectic. According to the bill, Bitcoin will be treated as a legal means of payment for all public and private transactions in Taiwan, as well as a store of value on a unit account. But the bill also stipulates, and this is where the control comes in, and this is why you need to hold your own Bitcoin, not your keys, not your coins, is the most important. Ledger's been not hacked, but Ledger, they've come up in the news again with a $500-something loss. We'll look into that in a sec. But the bill also stipulates that all individuals and businesses that deal with Bitcoin must register with the Financial Supervisory Commission, the FSC, the main financial regulator in Taiwan, and comply with AML and counter-terrorism financing rules. So regulation is coming out there. Regulation's not a bad thing, just do the right thing. Most of us on this channel are probably pretty privileged, but anywhere around the world, if you hold your Bitcoin, you're good. That's the aim of it. And just to be able to stack, obviously not financial advice there with everyone, but time is running out. It is TikTok next block. This interview goes on. I won't play the whole thing, but I have reposted it. Pomp, this is a great appearance by Bill Miller describing the difference between Bitcoin and crypto, the importance of the halving. When he dives into that, there's so much positive news coming, and we're seeing a big shift in the news here. So I just want you to take note quickly, and then we'll dive into what is going on. Microsoft listing fake Ledger app leads to 590,000 of Bitcoin stolen by hackers. So not due directly to Ledger. Someone put a fake app out there imitating Ledger. You know, smart people. This, you really need to be careful this cycle. Protect it. The best plays, people are always asking, what hardware device should they use? Go to BTC Sessions on YouTube, check him out. There's some really basic entry-level ways to get in. It gets more and more complicated. BTC Sessions is probably the best place to go. That's where you should be going, everyone, if you want to find out about storing your generational wealth. Anyway, Bitcoin addresses with over 1,000 of Bitcoin hits record 8 million. The data shows the number could grow exponentially, representing a tremendous amount of purchasing power one observer said. That's why governments around the world are going to become more and more friendly. Obviously, the Bitcoin spot ETF, as soon as that's approved, that's going to give permission for other countries all around the world. And that game theory with Bitcoin as legal tender. When you go through the news at the moment, you are seeing a lot of talk about price action, and the language has changed. We've definitely come out of the bear market. So with the price now at 35,000, most people are priced out of owning the whole Bitcoin. Hopefully you did get there in the bear market. Is it going to go up, down, and sideways? Like 4.69% in the last 24 hours. It's volatile. We're going to get 15, 20, 25% candles either way. You just need to look long term and just, stack and chill is the easiest way. But there is no reason not to be bullish on Bitcoin. Greg, the director of derivatives of AMA Data, said in an email citing Friday's payroll figure and the recent decline in stock market volatility indices as the likely catalyst for continued gains in the cryptocurrency. It's obviously Bitcoin is not crypto. Anyway, the Labor Department closely watched employment report on Friday showed that job creation slowed to 150k jobs in October after rising by 297 in September. It's so backwards that you want it to go down for the markets to go up. The jobless rate rose to 3.9%, while wage growth, as measured by average hourly earnings, softened hints at continued disinflation. What the data has made it more likely that the Fed will not hike interest rates again, supposedly a positive development for risk assets. Supposedly, I would take note of that. Judging by history, it's not always good when they stop and reverse interest rate hikes. In the short term, long term, they are going to have to start money printing. So act accordingly. For risk assets, including cryptocurrency, the central bank has raised rates by 525 basis points to 5.25% since March last year. The so-called tightening aimed at taming inflation was partly responsible for last year's crypto market slide. Yeah, it's just part of the cycle as well. We go up, we go down, we go sideways. Don't look day to day, but looking out to the 13th of December, 2023, 90% chance they stay where they are. Close 10% chance that we do get a slight hike. Probably get nothing, and it's going to be up and to the right, long term, short term. Who cares? Just stack. If you missed out. So competition is amazing. If the US has its proxy asset manager BlackRock launching an ETF, China needs its proxy asset manager to launch one too. The US versus China economic war is great for Bitcoin. You can see how bullish everyone is within the market. Like Davis speaking, Hong Kong going to get spot Bitcoin ETFs now. Chinese money does not want to miss out. The game theory, as it all heats up, if Taiwan government actually introduces the Bitcoin bill, if that goes through and is confirmed, all these setting up for an incredible long time going forward. Act accordingly, and we'll see you on the next video. Make sure you hit subscribe. We'll keep you up to date with the latest news and developments as this bull market unfolds. Be blessed.